Yeah, let's go, yo. Who light up the scoreboard? Who making the playoff? Who's the MVP? Yo, let's smart talk. Recap the game and the major plays. Yo, they all got opinions they would like to say. Like what went right, yo, what went wrong? Yo, what play was weak and what play was strong? So kick up your feet and grab your popcorn. It's the Smack Talk podcast. Let's get it on.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Oh, shit. Browns drop another one. Just an uninspired game today. Defense didn't look like they wanted to be there. They just didn't have the usual juice that those guys come out with. Flacco got our hopes up. He'll fit right in with us. He's another great QB to add to the list. Let's just throw a ball up to the middle of nowhere to end the game. Myles Garrett, I don't think he recorded the stat today, which could be a season killer right there. The defense, the secondary is pedestrian without Ward. Ward should go into Haslam's office and just be like, give me more money. Haslam give him say no, send more money. And just keep saying more till he gets a bigger paycheck. Emerson's getting picked on way too much. The run game seems to have all but disappeared. That was just a tough watch today. I never sat there and I felt like we had it. My brain went full Browns again. On the extra point, I was like, this is it. This is the moment we miss. And sure fucking enough, he missed it. I will admit, I got a little ahead of myself, put Flacco on a gold jacket after that first drive. But I mean, we all were. What are you going to do about that, you know? It's just comments about fantasy football. Which, we're talking about my fantasy football. Probably 0-3 again. I don't know. Don't check. Teams are so bad. Back to the Browns. The West Coast trip was just a dagger. Lost 2 games to, let's just say, below 500 teams. I think Denver was 500 when we went out there. Houston got Denver's ass today. We dropped back down to the 6th seed. Back below Schittsburg, who lost to Arizona today. And when you look at the Browns' schedule, if you're being generous, you could give him 3-2. Give him the loss to Houston and Jacksonville. I mean, there's no guarantee that they don't stop us next week. This could be a little bit of a downer of an episode. Buckeyes shat on us. Still sad about that. Had to watch Michigan go number 1. Had to watch Bama sneak in. I just feel like the 4:00 game, just something's not right about it. I don't know if we shouldn't have stayed out there for 2 weeks on the West Coast. Because that just didn't look like the same typical Browns. The energy. I mean, the drop passes, that reminded me a lot of us. The defense on the 2-minute drive giving up points, that was spot on. But man, are we in trouble. I think Miles is playing through something that they're not going to tell us till after the season. To Miles to put up not one stat, it's not good at all. And I feel like we keep hearing people talk. You hear other shows talk. They'll be like, we should beat this team. We're better than this team. We're not better than any of these teams. What offensive player would you take on our team over the Rams? A lineman or 2, maybe? That's it. I think Stefanski coached a decent game today. He did what he could. I think maybe a little pass happy, but also I think he had a QB who was out there just, making good decisions, and he was just beside himself for a while. So I'm not really mad at them for that. That's not true. Browns have not gone completely back to the Browns yet. We're on our, fourth quarterback? Fifth quarterback? Nah, it don't matter. Same record as Pittsburgh, though. So shove off. Now it's a race to two shit teams to try to get a playoff spot. I think Pittsburgh has a shit schedule too, man. I don't think they play anybody as well. But if you're looking at the standings, if you want to do a little bit of the schedule game, 3-2 should be a walk in the park for the Browns. Now I can't find my standings. But we got Jacksonville next week. That could get ugly. But then we got Chicago. You got to come out and beat Chicago. I don't care if it's by 1 point. Houston's going to be the tough one. CJ Stroud's looking like the best rookie quarterback of all time. Might be the best quarterback of all time when it's all said and done with how he's playing. But we'll find out. I mean, I think Strong looked decent today, if you want to have a couple positives. Kareem Hunt looked like Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt did kind of turn into 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But when you need those 3 yards, he'll get you goddamn 3 yards. Tough yards, too. Puka Nacua, and came back against us. He was in a slump, and then he just comes out and dominates. When Denzel isn't out there, that's just not the same secondary. It's not even close. Emerson got the speed, don't have the size. Newsome runs funny. I don't know if anyone said that yet. They're just not there. Hey, I don't know where Anthony Walker was today. Maybe he's still a little bit banged up. The Miles thing. No Miles, no Ward, and that defense is a normal defense. And now we're going to have a whole week of a position of, do you go with Flacco? Do we go back to DTR? If the Browns make the playoffs, it's going to be dragged, kicking and screaming. I think it'll be a hell of a job if Kevin gets us to the playoffs. Almost had a turnover for your game. Bunch of Steelers fans in the chat. Goddamn Steelers. Miles. He's going to kiss that Defensive Player of the Year award again. That baby gone. That's going to end up going to Watt probably. That's going to be another depressing thing at the end of the season. So there's that. Holy shit, this is a dark day. I had a vasectomy Friday. Had more fun with that than watching that game. At least they gave out good drugs. It's just, I just don't even know what to say about that. I mean, after Flacco comes out looking like that, you're sitting there, you're like, all right, you got a shot. Coop goes down after he fucking drops another one, a first down. Something's up with Coop, too. I mean, I think our best outcome is going to be a 10-win season, and that's going to have to be good enough to sneak into that last spot. And then we're going to probably run up against Miami, even if we do sneak in. If I had to give out some ratings today, I still think solid enough game. I mean, what are you going to do? That roster is literally falling apart. It's being held together by tape, like Myles Garrett's arm is now. I mean, I think Kev still gets a solid B. I will say, Kev going off on that ref on the sideline was one of the most exciting things I've seen all season. The Kev with the emotion, I loved every second of that. Kev even got caught on the reading the lips with "You got to be fucking kidding me." Loved every second of that. So we got a little emotion out of Kevin today, which is what I've been dying for. I wish it would have been a little happier of a time of emotion. I mean, when your only turnover It's just a Joe Flacco heave for absolutely no reason. I'm not convinced Joe Flacco's not a Denver fan for that. I thought it just made no sense. First of all, throwing a jump ball to your 5'8" wide receiver. That part would make no sense. You've been dropping dimes basically all game. It's not fourth down. You got to check that down or just throw it away and live to play another down. That's just... These 2 games are going to haunt us. This road trip's been a complete disaster. The West Coast has not been good to us. The defense really has to... We really got to figure something out with once we score points, man. We just cannot stop them that next drive. I would love to see the numbers on that. Because we have to give up points like 50% of the time after we score any amount of points. The depression. I'm a Browns fan. Such a sad group of people. But if you want to say one thing, it is what are we, 7 and 5 now? So it's like week 14. We are in the playoffs. Season and today, we're in the playoffs. How many times I could say that in my life? This is the second time, maybe? So that feels good. We're leaving the West Coast. We're coming back home. That's good. Get these boys back in their houses, back to their families. And maybe we can run off a couple games here. And we beat better teams than the Jags this season. If I had to say right now, I think you got to bring Flacco back. If you still won against the Jaguars, man, you're right back in the driver's seat. You got the Bears. If you don't blow out the Bears, I fucking fire them all. I don't even give a shit. Just fire everybody. Texans is going to be a barn burner. That's going to be a massive game. That's going to be a scary game. But if you got to sneak one at the Jags. You got to take the pressure off yourselves. The Jets, I mean, if you got to score what? 10 points, you beat the Jets? And the Bengals are more beat up than us? Well, the Bengals are just more QB dependent than us. When Burrow goes down, that team goes down. So with all this depression, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to say, you got to get a playoff spot still. I think the AFC North is going to sneak in 3 playoff teams this year. KC, Miami, Baltimore, pretty much locks for playoffs. Absolutely. Jags, Texans, Bills, Colts, Broncos, Steelers playing tough. Huge weeks. Jags and Texans. Yeah, absolutely. Monsters weeks. We might be just jumping in for that 7 seed. But a playoff spot's a playoff spot. Maybe you really don't want that. Because the stands are now what? Now the 7 seed. So Miami ended out. Miami would get a bye and be playing Baltimore. All right, live with that. If they'll play Miami then Baltimore week 1. Or if they'll play Baltimore then Miami week 1. Fuck Jacksonville. See, that's a team where you're gonna have. There's a lot of people that are gonna be saying like, we're just as good as Jacksonville. We're just not. The wide receiver corps so much better. ETN better. Quarterback light years better. We're gonna play 2 offenses that were better than for the remainder of the season. Well, I guess you can count Cincy without Burrow. But you're better offensively than Chicago. You're better offensively than the Jets, because everyone is. It might be a 10 win and pray. Pray that you can still sneak this out. But I think Strong looked good today. Strong has the burst. I think Strong needs more touches, man, because we need players who can turn 5 yards into 40 yards. We just have nothing. Our drive, that first drive of the game we had was just beautiful. We don't do that. Our touchdowns are more like the other ones, where we got to dink and dink and dink and dink and dink and dink and dink. And that's just so hard. It's too hard to do that in today's NFL, to dink down the field. You got to get big plays. And we just have no big play threat. We almost can't, like, the dump off to the running backs almost dead to us now. We've burned that play out so much this year that as soon as they catch the ball, they get smacked. I just don't know what Kevin's supposed to do right now. I'm so not looking forward to this week of the Flacco versus DTR talk. I don't know what I'd do. I think you got to roll with Flacco. I hope he finds some old magic in there still. I mean, if Flacco doesn't throw that ball, that interception, that terrible interception, he had a pretty good goddamn game for a man who was coming off the couch. Now, if you want to spin this positive, which is tough, but you being a Browns fan, you got to go real dark, go real negative, and you got to hype yourself right back up to being positive again and dream big, because that's what we do. For a man coming off a couch, he played a hell of a game. Made one terrible decision. One more week of practice, one more week locking in, one more week with our receivers. Without Coop, that receiving core is so bad. I mean, Elijah Moore finally showed up. That could be more. That's just, when Coop goes down, that's just all you got. And Flacco played with him last year, so they already had that connection built in. You got to ride Flacco one more game. See what he can do for you. If I had to guess right now, I'd guess we ride Flacco the rest of the year. It would be sweet, though, to have a Flacco versus fucking Baltimore playoff game. Little revenge story. Take the guy to the playoffs who took your job. I mean, who wouldn't watch that? But man, I'm not even sure. I think Miles is just too hurt to even rest. I don't think that's going to do anything for us. So Miles is going to have to play through this. I don't even know if he's 50% of what he was. If we don't get Ward back by next game. If we get Ward back, I'd rather have Ward than Cooper back next game. Because the defense is going to have one of those early games of defense. We need them to be historic for another game. And then the offense can try to carry them next week when they're playing Chicago. And the defense can take a bit of an off game. I'll just be happy when the games are back at 1 fucking clock again. 4 o'clock games, I don't even get hyped for them. It's a weird timing. And obviously the Browns, they want nothing to do with this 4 o'clock window out there. I bet they can't wait to get home now. You just had to steal one of those, man, to feel good. You steal one of those, you're sitting in the driver's seat right now for a playoff spot. But somehow, some way, nothing. I'd be okay with the losses if we just looked. If just the defense, they just had no energy today. And I just don't understand that. Who knows? Big ass game coming up against Jacksonville. I don't even think there's really too much to even talk about to that game. Puka's good. There's nothing we can do about that with the Ward out. Stafford's the crafty vet. Aaron Donald, I mean, for the most part, they did a pretty damn good job on him. Not even going to count those last 2 drives. Just complete. Everyone knew you were passing. It's just a bad situation. Game was out of hand. I like the final score, though. Maybe it takes a little bit of pride from the team, help them out a little bit. So I'm not even mad about that. They come back, they beat Jacksonville. I'll be like, this game never happened. Come back, be fucking ecstatic again. Ugh. It's just a sad one. Sad weekend. Weekend started off good. Got my vasectomy done. It was clean. No problems. Doctor said I did a great job. If I'm being honest, did I think we'd win the game? Well, I didn't bet on it. So that would be the answer there. Didn't take them, took Cooper to score one. I just had a funny feeling for some reason. Cooper was hyping up Flacco. That didn't happen. Cooper goes down, which is scary. Another concussion coming off a rib thing. It's just not a good look. I mean, injuries happen, yeah. But so what, your 5 best players? That's just outrageous. I mean, can we not get a third corner to get injured? Someone on punt return? Kickoff? How's it all the stars? Just we got to catch the football because it's the NFL. That's what you do in the NFL. You catch the goddamn football. Defense has to make 1 or 2 more plays. They just got to regroup. The stats are bad. 87 rush yards in a game that came down to the wire. I mean, Flacco was fine. 75.4 rating. 4 yards. I mean, 1 pick. I mean, that's probably like the 3rd best QB performance we've had all year, if we're being honest. Moore. I mean, that's his best game of the season, 83 yards on 4 catches. I'll give Flacco one thing. It was nice just to see a quarterback go out there and fucking fling it. After we've been watching that offense throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage more than often. Thornhill, I just don't think it's a good sign when he got 7 tackles. Joker was flying around out there today. It's not as big as an impression as he usually has. The Myles Garrett no stats crazy. It's such a bad, depressing sign. He's not going to be on the field as much, I would guess, the rest of the year. And that D-line, those guys weren't really doing a shit ton with that when he was out there taking on the doubles and triple teams. Without him at full strength, man, it's going to be an uphill battle. Browns got to take care of their business now. You go 10-7, you hope that's enough to get into the playoffs. And then you do the old talk yourself into, hey, baby, you just got to get a ticket. Get a ticket for the ride, anything can happen. Who knows? Maybe Flacco don't lose another game all damn year. But looking at Flacco's last year's stat, it wasn't great. This could have been his best. His best game was against us. And really, that was only like a half of football, maybe even a quarter of football, honestly. But we'll get back to it. We'll be back on here in a day or two. We'll be in a better mood because the Browns fans switch it up like this. I'll be right back to happiness, baby. I'll probably be right back down here convincing myself we're a better team than Jacksonville. I'll be telling myself they're in a shitty division. We're in the best division in football. And that's just life, you know? Now I got to go bathe 2 kids. One with pink eye. It's Joe Flacco elite. You can just fuck right off. I mean, MVP season, though. Super Bowl champion. He was at least elite 1 year. Best QB I've seen since we've been back, if you want to be honest. I mean, it's the best QB to put on a Browns uniform since I've been back. If you want to go like career wise. Sure, not with us, but a win's a win. If he takes Cleveland to the playoffs, yeah, he's elite. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. I'd fucking get a Joe Flacco jersey if he takes us to the playoffs. I'll put it right. I can't move Jarvis. That's my baby. Can't move Chubb. That's my baby. And we'll put a Joe Flacco jersey somewhere if he takes us to the playoffs. I'll be super proud of it too. I did tell my family we were all getting Flacco jerseys after the first drive. Said Flacco jerseys, Christmas party. Stamp it. Yeah, fuck that. We'll wait one more week to buy one. We'll wait one more week. See what happens. Can't buy it now. All right, football. We love you. Let's go lose a couple more dollars on this Sunday night game. See what we can get into. Maybe watch Mahomes lose. Everyone loves that. Be a little happy. Get back to the grind Monday. Gonna go to work tomorrow and see if my balls hold up. So that's always something exciting to look forward to. But all right. Let's see here. We love you all. We like the Browns. And vasectomies are really nothing. There's like no pain at all if anyone's been thinking about it. Go for it. You don't feel nothing. Great drugs. It was the most relaxed I've ever been in my entire life, if I'm being honest. Just sitting there chilling. So go. Vasectomies and the Browns. We love you. Bye.
Let's go, yo. Who light up the scoreboard? Who making the play, y'all? Who's the MVP?